Happy Friday, everybody. We are back for a traveling Facebook Live, and honestly, couldn't be a better timing for this theme. I am leaving tomorrow to go on vacation. I'm looking forward to it. And that means that next week we'll be taking a break from our Facebook Lives. However, we are here today to talk about pet travel safety and tips for the pet that may have car sickness to help you with some ideas on how to battle car sickness for pets, because it can be a real problem. Who likes to clean up vomit ever, but especially all over your car seats? So I have set up a lot of fun things here that we recommend for car safety. But one of the things I'd really like to point out is you need to have your pet properly secured in your car. It's about security mostly. You don't want them bouncing around the car to keep you safe, so they're not like accidentally hitting your shifting knob or accidentally hitting anything. You also want to keep them safe in case of an accident, because one of the number one ways that I see people, roaming for their pets is they got in an accident and their pet escaped the crashed car and they can't find their pet and they're really worried. So we definitely want to recommend keeping your pet restrained in the car for their safety, for your safety. So we have lots of different ways to talk about that. It can be really hard for larger pets, but for small pets, you can keep them in a carrier. They make metal kennels for cars. This is a Sherpa bag, which is crash tested. Really, really cool product. It fits dogs up to 16 pounds, but it has I'm going to move some stuff so you can see. It has a latch system that hooks into the latch system in the back seat of your car that all newer cars have these days for child safety seats. It latches into that restraint system. And it is crash tested for passengers up to 16 pounds and protects your pet. So that's a really, really cool product. Now, with that crash testing, which is extremely expensive, comes a heftier price tag. This is $160. However, it's going to keep your pet safe in the event of an accident. And of course, keep them in a nice carrier so they're not bouncing around the car and feel nice and secure. Sometimes car sickness can come from security. So putting them in a carrier or some kind of restraint kind of helps with the car sickness. But this is a crash tested carrier that, again, plugs into the latch system in the vehicle. Really cool product by our friends at Sherpa. In keeping with our friends at Sherpa, these are really cool crash tested harnesses for the car. And the nice thing about this harness is it doesn't have to be just in the car. So this is a really cool product. You have the handles here. So if you use it to walk them, you can use it for that purpose, but you can also use this to put the seat belt through to keep them seated. You also have clips here on the back. So if you're using it to walk them, you have that. And then it has a reinforced buckle. You have the button you have to push plus the two side items to push in. And just really cool, again, it's crash tested for safety. And this is a small, but they have all sizes. And it's nicely reinforced. You can feel the strength in this. Feels like a nice, strong, it's made from seatbelt material. So really, truly nice and strong and durable for your pet when they're traveling in the car. But again, that crash testing comes at a price tag. This is $42.99. So if you're looking for safety, these are really, really safe, but you're going to be expecting to pay a little bit more because those crash tests are expensive to do for a company. So they're going to pass that along as a price tag item. Now, some other products we have for the car would be TrueFit Smart Harness by our friends at Kurgo. Another great car harness. Now, this one has not been, or has been crash tested as well. It's just made a little bit differently than our friends at Sherpa. But again, we love Kurgo, and it does have a lifetime warranty, as does the Sherpa, on any manufacturer defects or any kind of issues with fraying or things like that. Comes in all sizes. And the nice thing is it comes with the harness, and then it comes with the seatbelt loop right here. So this would clip onto the harness and the seatbelt would go, oops, sorry, the seatbelt would go through this little loop right here. So another really great product. This one's a little bit less expensive than the Sherpa. This is $34.99. And this is a medium. And the other one I showed you was a small. So it gives you kind of some idea of prices. Now, these are some more products, maybe a little bit more recommended for just driving around town. You're not going to be going high rates of speed like on a highway, but you want something to restrain your pet. We have all different kinds of seatbelt plug-ins. Now this plugs into the seatbelt receptor and then hooks to your pet's harness. Please do not ever hook this to a collar. It needs to be hooked to a harness. It will keep your pet safer in the long run, but definitely do not connect this to a collar. Same thing for this. This is a chew-proof seatbelt for the car. It's a nice coated metal cable, and this would clip on to your pet, and the seatbelt would go through here. So nice, cool seatbelt leash by our friends at Mighty Paw. This one's $22.99. Nice and durable, and they can't chew through this. So if your pet is a chewer when they're restrained, being in the back seat, this could be a nice way to go because they're not going to be able to chew through this. Or not easily. They're going to file down their teeth probably. Okay, now some other really good products for your car to keep your car clean. We have a lot of different styles of bench seat covers. We carry a lot of different styles from our friend at Kurgo. But this will cover the back seat. So if they're muddy when maybe you're going to the park or the lake or the beach, when they jump back in, they're not going to mess up your whole back seat and cause you to have to go get your car detailed. These have lots of different styles and varieties. I only have one here. We have single seats. We have bucket seats. We have the hammocks that go across and go up the back of the seats in the front to help keep the pet from going through as well. And lots of different measurements. When you come into our store, I would recommend having measured your back seat and know what your back seat looks like. You're also welcome to come and check it out in your car and make sure it fits before you leave. But these are great. They're usually very washable, but they're also made of like water resistant material, so you can wipe them down as well. So we love these bench seat covers. Another great thing to do are booster seats. Now this is one by our friends at Kurgo. We really do love this booster seat. But we also have some with our friends from Snoozer. They have some great car seat boosters as well that plug in a little bit differently. This one hangs from over the front, the headrest of the seat, and then kind of has a wraparound that secures it. The one from Snoozer just sits in the seat, and then you use the seat belt to go across it to secure it. So they just work a little bit differently. It depends upon what makes your pet most comfortable. But they're both kind of the same idea, just serving as a booster seat to keep your pet. If you have a smaller pet, like I do, of course, you can put them in this kind of a booster seat so that it boosts them up and they can see out the window, again, helping with that car sickness. I have 2 kids who are very car sick, and it helps if they can see out the window and kind of see where they're going. That motion, if they can't see, really makes them a lot more sick. So these booster seats are great. This one in particular is $74.99 by our friends at Kurgo. But they have some other styles as well. And then again, like I said, we have the Snoozer products that come in like 3 or 4 different sizes and widths. And their covers are washable, so you can throw them and take them off the form and throw them in the washing machine to get them all cleaned up if your pet has car sickness. So in talking about car sickness, some ways to prevent car sickness. One of our favorite ways is this product by Arc Naturals called Happy Traveler. It comes in treats and it comes in capsules, but this really can help. It helps a lot with car sickness. You're going to want to give it ahead of time. So you want to give it at least 30 to 45 minutes before you're leaving. But it has valerian root, German chamomile, L-tryptophan, and St. John's wort. So it's an all-natural product that is going to help with any kind of car sickness. Again, you want to give this in advance. You're not going to give it and then walk out the door and have magic. You definitely want to give it 30 to 45 minutes before you leave. CBD is also a wonderful thing if you have a dog that's anxious in the car. We have a lot of different opportunities for different delivery methods for CBD. We have tinctures, we have treats, we have melts, we have all different formats of CBD. So you're basically going to be looking for what works for your pet best, and definitely check these out, test them out. A lot of them have small sample sizes, so you don't have to commit to a huge bag. You get to try out 6 to 10. This one is 30 chews, and they have a bag smaller than this that comes out as a sample. So that is very helpful. You're not having to make a huge commitment. Again, if you're going to use CBD for car anxiety, you want to make sure that you're giving it in advance, 30 to 45 minutes before you leave. Because if you give it right as you're walking out the door, it's not going to have a chance to be effective. So you want to use it in plenty of advance time. One of the coolest things that is just a hidden treat up here that hides on our front counter, a lot of you have found out about these, but they're called Heavenly Hounds. These are calming biscuit, and I want to say for my dogs it would be like one serving is a quarter biscuit size, and it looks like a brownie kind of. It does not have CBD in it, but it is a calming product and extremely popular. We sell out of these like crazy. Which tells me they work. We've had a lot of people use them as well and give us feedback, but they really work. So Heavenly Hounds for calming. Now, two last tips and tricks. The biggest tip I can give you is when you are traveling with your pet, make sure whatever you are walking them on or securing them with is fit perfectly to them. Because if you have a collar that's not sized properly and can slip over their head, or you have a harness that they can walk out of, they are in danger of getting away from you. Yesterday, just outside our grooming salon, as a customer was bringing her dog in, the dog had a collar that was not fit properly for his neck, and it slipped right over his neck and put him in immediate danger. Of course, I am happy to report our grooming salon staff immediately saw emergency. They all put their dogs in a safe place that they were working on and went out and helped the owner get the pet into a safe place. And the dog came into our grooming salon without a problem and went home with properly fitted harnesses. So make sure whatever you have on your pet that your pet cannot get out of, because they're going to be in a strange place, probably a little bit more anxious. And you definitely don't want to be on vacation, spending your vacation looking for your lost pet. So be sure that you're keeping them nice and secure when they're outside. Make sure you secure their leash or their harness or whatever you're using to walk them with before you open any doors so they can't dash out. Your dog may not have these issues at home, but when you're traveling, they are in an unfamiliar environment. You have them in an unfamiliar environment, and they may be more prone to dash out the door. We do love this product by our friends at Harness Lead, and a big shout out to Allison Dunmore, a trainer here in town, who told us about these. These are kind of like a martingale collar. If you're not familiar with the martingale collar, it's a collar that you can connect a leash to, and it kind of pull tighter when they pull so that they can't pull over their heads. This is the same kind of philosophy, but just in a harness. So if they're pulling, they can't walk out of the harness. It pulls a little bit tighter on them so that they can't pull out of the harness. But this is a really, really great product. And this is a size small, large, or a small medium. It fits 14 to 40 pounds. But really, really great product. And again, helping to keep your pet nice and secure when you're away from home. One last tidbit. If you are traveling, make sure your pet has current contact information. Even if they're microchipped, the fastest way for a pet to be returned back to their owner is identification on their body. So make sure if you're taking a trip that you run up here and get a new tag for your pet. Make sure it is legible. You know, these tags hang around their necks sometimes for years, and you don't even realize that it's not legible anymore. Maybe the paint has rubbed off. Maybe the engraving has gotten rubbed down and you can't read it, the character anymore. And one character out of a number, and that's going to be really difficult to contact the owner. So make sure that they have proper readable identification that has your cell phone number on it. which is going to be the easiest way to contact you. If you know that you always travel to a vacation home and it's always the same vacation home, consider getting a tag for that vacation home and a tag for here that has your address on it as well. We have lots of tags up here that are printable on both sides. So you can put a very clear address on one side and their name and a phone number on the other side. And then that way you can switch out tags depending upon where your location is. Again, easiest way to get a pet returned to their owner is printed, readable, legible information on the pet's collar. By the time they get them and take them to a vet, there may not be a vet open. Vets at beaches, driving to an emergency vet can be very difficult, usually an hour or two away. So finding somebody with a microchip scanner might be difficult. So please consider getting a tag and keeping proper identification on your pet if you're traveling. One other thing you can get is this product by Paw Scout. Really cool product. It works kind of like a Bluetooth tag, and this is an app. It's called Paw Scout. I have it on my phone, and I always have it allowed to see my location in the background. And then if a pet with this tag on its collar gets close to my product, my phone that has the app on it, it's going to show up on the map and an owner can see where the lost pet is. This is a really cool product, and I definitely recommend, even if you don't get this product, you download that app and keep it open in the background on your phone for people who do have this kind of a tag on their pet, so that if their pet gets away, they have a higher chance of being found. But it does have a battery, so you do have to replace the battery in it. But it just helps. It's a community pet finder. It's really cool, kind of a crowdsourcing thing. The more people that have this app, the more effective it is. So there are our travel tips for you as you head out this summer to go on vacation with your pet. More and more people are traveling with their pets than ever before. As much as you beg, you can't come to the beach with me. But more and more people are traveling with their pets. And all of these things are very safe and very good to keep your pet safe, because the last thing you want to have is a tragedy on vacation. You want to go enjoy your time with your family and with your furry family. And all of these products can help make that a little bit of a safer trip and a little less pukey. We hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we'll see you back here in a couple of weeks. We definitely want to draw attention to our anniversary event, which is going to be happening on August 13th at our Sedgefield location. You're going to see more and more information pop up about that event. And we're looking forward to inviting everybody out to our Sedgefield store for a huge birthday bash. It's going to be so much fun and lots of activities, lots of fun things. But if you watch these programs routinely, you know how big a fan we are of Billy Hoekman from Green Juju. We've interviewed him a couple of times. We get to see him at trade shows and enjoy every single time we get to talk to Billy. We always learn something. Well, we are inviting that fun to our anniversary event. Billy is going to be with us, along with Dr. Judy Morgan, who is located near Raleigh. She's a holistic vet, and she has all kinds of great information as well. If you don't know about Judy Morgan, you should definitely go to her Facebook page, Dr. Judy Morgan, and read all about her helpful advice for pet health. She has all kinds of great information, and we really do love Dr. Morgan. She's going to be joining us along with Billy Hoekman and doing a seminar that afternoon to answer your questions. You can come with any kind of nutrition questions you have, and I can promise you that if Billy doesn't know it, Judy does. If Judy doesn't know it, Billy does. And they helped me a lot recently with one of my older dogs, and I am indebted to them for that information. They did a great job with her and guessing what was wrong. Even not having her in front of them, they gave me some good information that seemed to really help. So come out and meet them. We also are going to start our monthly workshops that day and have our first workshop, and I'll be sharing more about that on social media in the days to come. But it's going to be talking about how to feed from a licky mat. and the importance of feeding from a licky mat and giving your pet variety in their diet. So again, lots of fun things happening on August 13th, along with lots of great savings. So you do not want to miss that event. We hope you guys have a wonderful weekend, and we thank you for joining us. And one last thing, just a shout out for our monthly subscription boxes. We do have a few subscription boxes left with cat and dog, and this is a really great box. It's definitely way over the $60 value, and both of them are, and they have a lot of great hydration suggestions for you and for keeping your pet nice and hydrated in this hot weather. Have a great weekend, everybody, and we'll see you in a couple of weeks.